Hello rappers, this is On and welcome to my first ranking. So today I'll be ranking all the seasons of Lucifer. So before I start this ranking, I just want to say that this video will contain spoilers for all the seasons of Lucifer. So yeah, let's get into it. Coming in last place is season 3. Now, season 3, although it has one of my favorite episodes, it kind of drags way too long. It's like the creators of the show ran out of ideas on what to do next, on how to run the season. And when it comes to a good idea, where Lucifer finally shows his true face to Detective Decker, it's like they don't know where to go forward with that idea, with that plot, because they don't want to ruin it. So after that you get filler episodes until the season ends, and that is really bad. It also makes you hate most of the characters like Dan Espinosa and Mazikeen, especially Mazikeen. She has become the worst character in this show just because of that season. She does a lot of mistakes. She only cares about herself. She is one of the worst characters in the show. Even episodes before Lucifer introduces his true face to Detective Decker, there are also some filler episodes that have no meaning to be in the show whatsoever. For example, there is this main idea or main plot where Lucifer is trying to see how Cain can be mortal again. So his idea is to bring Abel back. Literally the whole episode, Abel comes back. Okay, he roams around, thinks that he's still in hell, and then he just dies, and then you never get to see Abel again. It's like that episode had no meaning to it. It had no purpose to it. It was just a filler episode. And that's the problem with this season. It's kind of like they ran out of ideas, but they needed to have 25 episodes, so they started coming with loose ends here and there. So yeah. Coming in third place is season 2. Although introducing Uriel and so was introducing Lucifer's mom into the mix was really good. Once Uriel dies because of Lucifer, they spend the whole season grieving, and it gets kinda repetitive and boring and tiresome is the right word to say, because the whole season is just centered about Uriel, but then towards the end, for some weird reason, Lucifer's mom just wants to go back. She wants to go back. She has a mental breakdown, and it feels like there's something that she's hiding. And then towards the end, you find out that she was never hiding anything. She was getting stressed over nothing. She was really determined to go back as fast as possible for no reason. It is such a weird way to suddenly turn the character upside down. Before, she was trying as hard as she can to be the best mother, and then suddenly she's showing her son all over the place. She's acting way too weird. The way she acts makes you think that there is a mystery around why she's acting like that. But then once she goes back, or once Lucifer opens a gate for her in another universe, you find out that she was never hiding anything. Yet the idea with the hidden sword and Amenadiel being the favorite son was kinda good. I liked the mystery on how they tried to solve the sword, and how Lucifer tried to maintain his personality, his feelings, I should say, because he wanted to have the flaming sword to work. So that mystery around that was pretty good, but it only got good once they left Uriel out of it, because they've been grieving so much about that character. Coming in second place is season 4. Now for season 4, it comes right after season 3, and in season 3 they have a lot of characters that you start to hate. And so that's what I like about season 4, is that it kind of tells the people that what they're hating and the mistakes that they were doing in season 3 is wrong. Because, for example, Dan Espinosa was a character that really hated Lucifer in in season 3. And so he really does bad mistakes, and he also tells like a criminal master boss that Lucifer also hurted his son. And so because of those bad mistakes, because of those mistakes that he's done, that your character, that the character that makes you hate the character, it kind of gets slammed into his face, and he gets to know that he's done the wrong thing. And for some reason in this season, they make Mazikeen do even more bad stuff, and it gets more slammed into his face. Although it's pretty nice to see a hated character get what they deserve, it feels kind of like you're just wasting the character. You're just making them do the same bad stuff they were doing in season 3, and making them know that their stuff is wrong. Yeah, in the end, they don't learn anything. And not like Dan Espinosa, where he learns that his actions were wrong, and that there is consequences to what he was doing, very big consequences to his family. Mazikeen, on the other hand, just doesn't learn anything. She keeps doing bad stuff, and you hate the character even more. Although it's nice to see her get harmed and get like hurt, because you hate her so much from season 3. Yet she doesn't learn anything. You would think that the character would then become good, like season 2 and season 1, become like. She was never my favorite character or near my favorite, but she was at least a good character. You would think that in season 4 they would do the same thing with Dan Espinosa, but unfortunately she stays really bad, and they don't really fix her character for no reason. I also liked that they ignored the last 2 filler episodes that were done in season 3 after Lucifer showed his true devil face, and instead what they did is they ignored those last 2 episodes and made this conflict with Chloe Decker, that she has run away from Lucifer for a very long time to process what she's seen, and she does some bad mistakes, but she knows deep inside that what she's doing is wrong, but she needs real facts to know that what she's doing is wrong. And it's really nice to see her go through that path and learn why her mistakes were wrong, instead of making her go through a path that we don't like, and then at the end she doesn't making the character hated, just like what happened with Mazikeen in season 3. She did bad mistakes that we hated, but you'd think that at the end of the season she would at least know that her mistakes were wrong and she would learn from them. But instead, what Mazikeen did in season 3, she learned that her mistakes were wrong, but she didn't learn anything from them. And so in season 4 she stayed just as bad, and the character got more hated. So yeah. Although I've been saying a lot of good stuff about season 4, I also like the last episode where they did the musical. It was kind of creative, although it was out of place. It was really funny. Now, because this is the first season that came out from Netflix after the show got cancelled by Fox, this season has a lot of good effects, practical effects, because in the old show, when the show was made by Fox, his devil face wasn't really seen. It looked really bad. The CGI looked horrible, but I think because they knew that they didn't have enough budget to show a CGI devil face, they showed it in split seconds each time, and we never got to show Lucifer in his true face but once, and it looked horrible. So in season 4, because Netflix has a higher budget, has higher budget on its shows, they do a lot of good stuff with Lucifer, especially when he started to turn into the devil himself. You see, the practical effects with his face are really good. His new wings are really good. The consequences that lead Lucifer into becoming such a character is really good. I liked the idea that because it's like this season is telling all the characters that what you were doing when you were owned by Fox is wrong. You need to do the right stuff, and because of that, they're getting consequences to what they're doing. Lucifer is becoming the literal devil because of the mistakes he's done. Dan Espinosa could have got his family hurt because of the wrong stuff he's done. A lot of hated characters that you had from season 3 are learning that what they're doing is wrong. And what they've done with Lucifer and his whole body and the wings and the face is something that we could have never seen when the show was owned by Fox. But unfortunately, the ending in which they chose to end the season was really bad. Because this is a spoilery video, so I could say the ending, in which I really hated how Lucifer just went back to hell. He went back to hell as if all the seasons we've been watching him from season 1 till season 4 was for no reason. Him trying to fit in with the people in Earth, him trying to get all these relationships for him to then learn that he was not supposed to be there in the first place, and then just go from where he began. It's like all this development that we got is going back to zero, and I just don't like it. It's like all the development we got to all the conflict we thought that Lucifer learned from, and all the seasons that we think that Lucifer learned from, just because of this one mistake where Lucifer turns into the literal devil, he ignores everything that he learned from the previous seasons and just goes back to what he was in season 1. He goes back to hell. So yeah, that's why season 4 doesn't really go into my first place. But coming in first place is season 1. Now season 1 is pretty much the simplest character. It's a very good introduction on how it's a show about the literal devil going into a vacation in Los Angeles because he got hurt. He got bored. Sorry, my bad. He got bored from what he was doing in hell, and it's a really simple, straightforward idea of a literal devil working with a detective that thinks that he's some paranoid, some crazy dude that is still helping her, and there is no weird stories, there's no complicated issues like Lucifer's mom suddenly wanting to go to their home as fast as possible, or nothing about Cain and trying to find how he's mortal, but it's just a simple, straightforward idea of the literal devil working with a LAPD detective to solve random crimes here and there. And it was pretty refreshing to see it, and that's why it gets in the first place, because there is no bad decisions to be made even if they tried, because it's just a simple, straightforward idea of a detective working with the literal devil the whole entire season. So yeah, this is why this season 1 gets to be the first place between all the seasons in the show Lucifer. I wish you've enjoyed this video and this ranking. I'm also going to do a ranking for all the Spider-Man movies, animated and spin-offs like Spider-Verse and Venom are all going to be in the ranking, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Share this video if you like it, and if you know any friends that would have liked the type of content that I do here, follow me on my Instagram. It's going to be in the link in the description. I usually write early critiques of movies that I've just seen, stuff that are going with me while I'm trying to watch movies, shows, opinions on shows and movies, and views. So if you're into that, just follow me on my Instagram. It's going to be in the link in the description. And yeah, have a nice rest of the day.